Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. It's time for another top 10 PSA vintage baseball card sales on eBay. This time we're looking at the month of September 2022. As always, I break down these top 10 lists to the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. One thing that I added in this month's look at the top 10 sales is I added the average vintage card prices sale price for that card and that particular grade to give the sale price some sort of context. Did it sell for higher than the average price, lower than the average price, about right on the average? So hopefully that'll give some context to these sale prices that I'm going to be showing. For the 1950s, as usual, Mickey Mantle features very prominently in the top 10 list. For the 1960s, we have the usual 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie card making its presence. Several areas there within the top 10, but some interesting sales figures for those cards. And then for the 1970s, we have some very high-end, low population sales of some cards and sales of a particular player featured prominently in the top 10 list, all from the same eBay seller. So let's go take a deep dive into the top 10 PSA vintage baseball card sales on eBay for September 2022. Let's start off with the top 10 from the 1950s. Coming in at number 10. At number 10, we have the 1959 Topps Mickey Mantle in an 8.5. This one sold on September 29th. It was an auction, 61 bids, and it sold for $16,055. Now, the average VCP price for an 8.5, PSA 8.5, is $19,427. So this sold for about $3,000, $2,500 less than the average price on that one, but still a nice looking 1959 Topps Mickey Mantle. Coming in at number 9. At number 9, we have the 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle rookie card in a PSA 4. This sold on September 3rd. Best offer, the seller accepted $19,500 for it, and the VCP average price $18,708. So this sold about not quite $1,000 over the current average for a PSA 4. Coming in at number 8. At number 8, we have the 1955 Topps Roberto Clemente in a PSA 7. This rookie card sold on September 1st. It was an auction, 92 bids, sold for $19,655, above the VCP average price for a 7, which is $17,972. Nice looking Roberto Clemente rookie card. Coming in at number 7. At number 7, we have another 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle rookie card, also in a PSA 4. Personally, I think the previous PSA 4 was centered a little bit nicer than this copy here, but still got a PSA 4 grade. This one sold on September 12th. Best offer, $24,000, which is quite significantly above the VCP average price of $18,708. So between those two there, you had the previous sale at $19,500, which was the best offer, again above the average, and then you have another one coming in at $24,000. Interesting sales there for those two 51 Bowman Mickey Mantle rookie cards. Coming in at number 6. At number 6, we have the 1952 Topps Jackie Robinson in a PSA 7. Slightly off center, but overall presents very well for that 52 Jackie Robinson. This one sold on September 4th. It was an auction, 62 bids, sold for $26,100, below the VCP average price for a 7, which is $31,650. So interesting that PSA 7 sold for not quite $5,000 below the VCP average. Now again, could come down to eye appeal. Generally speaking, this has fairly nice eye appeal, a little off center, but again, it is a PSA 7, so it does allow for some off centering. But again, with some of these vintage cards, it could just come down to eye appeal and how they sell versus how others have sold recently. Coming in at number 5. At number 5, we have the third 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle rookie card. This one is in a PSA 5. The centering almost looks like that second PSA 4 that sold, so this may come down to slightly better corner wear on this copy here, garnishing a PSA 5. This sold on September 18th. It was an auction, 63 bids, sold for $26,100, about $2,000 under the VCP average price, which is $28,472. Coming in at number 4. At number 4, we have the 1954 Topps Hank Aaron rookie card in a really nice looking PSA 7.5. This sold on September 4th. It was an auction, 83 bids, sold for $28,025, slightly above, about $200 above the VCP average price of $27,813. So again, this is one that landed right around the average sale price for this card. Really nice looking Hank Aaron rookie card. Coming in at number 3. At number 3, we have the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle in a PSA 1. Actually, other than the extreme off-centering, fairly well nice looking card for a PSA 1. Obviously, you have some creasing there, some issues on the right border there. I'm not sure what the back looks like. But for this PSA 1, it sold on September 18th, best offer, $33,500, a little bit below the VCP average price of $35,377. Coming in at number 2. At number 2, we have another 52 Topps Mickey Mantle, this one in a PSA 1.5. Obviously, there's some paper loss there. This one has much better centering than the previous PSA 1. I'm not sure which copy I would choose. Again, if I was in the market and had that type of money, possibly the 1.5. I know there's some paper loss there, but this one has a lot better centering. But at any rate, this one sold on September 25th. Sold for $40,000. It was a best offer. Again, $2,000 less than the average VCP price of $42,200. Again, once you get down to these PSA 1, 1.5, 2s, really comes down to eye appeal. There are some, quote unquote, nicer looking PSA 1s, PSA 2s than others. There could be paper loss, could be corner wear, some tears. It all depends on the overall look as to how some of these cards sell. And coming in at number 1. And at number 1, we have another 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. This in a really nice PSA 4. Really nice surface there. It doesn't appear to be many creases. The surface is good as well. This one probably comes down to centering, corner wear, but really nice eye appeal on this PSA 4. It sold on September 9th. sold for $94,000. Buy it now, slightly above the VCP average price of $92,562. This may be a case where, again, the eye appeal justified paying higher than the average, comp for a PSA 4. On to the top 10 cards of the 1960s. Coming in at number 10. At number 10, we have the 1966 Topps Mickey Mantle in a PSA 8.5. This sharp-looking card sold on September 4th, sold for $6,544. It was an auction, 58 bids, sold right almost dead on the VCP average price of $6,568. Coming in at number 9. At number 9, we have the 1964 Topps Roberto Clemente in a sharp-looking PSA 9. This one sold on September 1st, sold for $6,600. It was an auction. There were 41 bids. The VCP average price is $7,540. So this PSA 9 sold for almost probably around $900, less than the average. Now the population on this PSA 9 is 48. There's only one PSA 10. So not too many 9s out there, but still sold for less than the current average price. Coming in at number 8. At number 8, we have a really nice looking 1960 Topps Mickey Mantle in a PSA 8. Looking at the card, probably the grade of 8 was due to the centering top to bottom, left to right. Otherwise, a really sharp looking card. This sold on September 22nd. It was an auction, 33 bids, and it sold for $7,202. Again, the trend we're seeing here below the VCP average price of $8,115. Coming in at number 7. At number 7, we have the first 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie card in a PSA 8. This sold on September 14th. It was an auction, 36 bids, sold for a couple $100 under the VCP average price, sold for $7,300, and the average is $7,511. Coming in at number 6. At number 6, we have a really nice looking 1962 Topps Harmon Killebrew in a PSA 9. Now to me it looks like there is some surface issues, a little bit of snowing there on the dirt background there, and near his head there's some ink marks. That may be the only reason why this card did not get a PSA 10, although the population of this PSA 9, there's only 9 of them, and there's only one PSA 10. This card sold on September 18th, sold for $8,000. It was up for auction, and there was only one bidder at $8,000. Now the VCP average price is $8,000. Reason being is this PSA 9 copy, one of them has not sold in over a year. I think it was April of 2021 was the last sale, and that sold for around $8,100. So this one here, a year, over a year later, year and a half maybe, sold for right around where the last one sold. Coming in at number 5. At number 5, we have the second 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie card, again in a PSA 8. This one, however, selling on September 22nd, sold for $8,500. Best offer, this one was $1,000 above the VCP average price of $7,511. Again, not sure why The buyer decided to pay $1,000 more than average. Maybe they missed out on the previous auction of the other one, but it's interesting that this PSA 8 sold for $1,000 more than average, yet the other one sold for a little bit less than the average. Coming in at number 4. At number 4, we have a third 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie card, again in a PSA 8. Sold on September 26th for even higher, $8,750. This was an auction, 27 bids. Again, the average VCP price on a PSA 8 is $7,511. So you saw one sale below the average, now two sales above the average price. Coming in at number 3. Coming at number 3, we have the fourth 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie card, again in a PSA 8. Check out that old PSA label. This one is somewhat of a shocker. Again, sold, it was a buy it now, sold on September 21st for $12,880. where the average VCP price is only $7,511. Not quite, double, but probably 70% more than the average price. I'm trying to figure out why that card sold for such a premium above the average price. Granted, it was buy it now, but interesting sale there on that 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie card. Coming in at number 2. At number 2, we have the 1968 Topps Rod Carew. This one in a PSA 10. The population on this PSA 10 is only 12. This sold on September 4th. It was an auction, 51 bids. Sold for $14,565.07, which is right around the VCP average price for a PSA 10. And coming in at number 1. And at number 1, we have, I think this is the fifth 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie card, but this one is in an 8.5. This sold on September 19th for $23,410. Here's an auction, 33 bids. This sold for a couple $1,000 above the VCP average price of $21,690. On to the top 10 cards of the 1970s. Coming in at number 10. At number 10, we have the 1971 Topps Steve Carlton in a PSA 9. These 71 Topps cards are really hard to find in such high grade. The population on this PSA 9 is 15. There are no PSA 10s. This one sold on September 4th for $4,271. It was an auction, 26 bids. The average VCP price, $4,211. So this sold right around that average price for a PSA 9. Coming in at number 9. At number 9, we have the 1975 Topps George Brett in a PSA 9. Looking at the card, there is a little bit of a fisheye there above the S in Royals, and there appears to be down on the field there, right above the G in George. I don't know if that's a mark on the card or the holder. Otherwise, great looking card. Maybe those two factors there gave it a 9. But to me, there seems to be those two little imperfections in that card. At any rate, it sold on September 4th for $4,600. It was a best offer, right around the average VCP price of $4,594. Coming in at number 8. At number 8, we have the 1971 Topps Bob Gibson in a PSA 9. Population on this PSA 9 is 32. There are no PSA 10s. This sold on September 1st for $4,800. It was a buy it now. The VCP average price is just under $3,600, so this sold for $1,200 above the VCP average price for this Pop 32 PSA 9. Coming in at number 7. At number 7, we have the second Steve Carlton, and you'll see some more Steve Carltons here in the top 10 lists from the 1970s. Again, these were all by the same seller. If you're interested in some high-end Steve Carlton cards, the seller, I believe, currently has a few cards of Carlton later on in his career. I think they're all PSA 10s, even have a few PSA 9 Mike Schmidts for sale. So again, if you're interested in Steve Carlton or Mike Schmidt in some really high grades, including I think a PSA 9 Schmidt rookie, you can check out that seller. But this 1973 top Steve Carlton is in a PSA 10. There are only 4 PSA 10s from 1973 of Steve Carlton. This sold on September 11th for $5,600. It was an auction, 28 bids, sold for significantly less than the VCP average price of $7,385. But again, this one here, there's only a population of 4. Coming in at number 6. At number 6, we have one of my favorite Nolan Ryan cards, the 1972 Topps Nolan Ryan. This is in a PSA 9. The population of PSA 9 is actually 189. There are 9 10s. This one sold on September 3rd for $5,700. It was best offer, but the average VCP price on this PSA 9 is $2,888, so a significant premium above the average price for this PSA 9. I hope the seller or the buyer really enjoys that card. I don't know how often 9s come up. Again, the population of 9s is 189. Not super hard to find, but there are some out there. But again, yeah, sold for $5,700. Coming in at number 5. At number 5, another Steve Carlton. This is the 1970 Topps Steve Carlton in a PSA 10. Population on this is just 11. This sold on September 4th. Sold for $5,798.98. It was an auction, 49 bids. Sold for a little bit less than the average VCP price of $6,003. Coming in at number 4. At number 4, we have the 1979 Topps Pete Rose in a PSA 10. The population of this card here is 16 in a PSA 10. It sold on September 4th for $6,100. It was an auction, 42 bids, sold for about $2,300 less than the VCP average price for a PSA 10 of $8,478. Coming in at number 3. At number 3, we have the 1970 Topps Roberto Clemente in a PSA 9. Population of this PSA 9 is 76. There's only one PSA 10. Nice looking Roberto Clemente card there. Sold on September 1st. It was an auction, 55 bids. Sold for $7,221. About $200 above the VCP average price of $6,995. Coming in at number 2. At number 2, we have the 1975 Topps Steve Carlton in a PSA 10. This one only has a population of 6. It sold on September 11th. Sold for $8,090. It was an auction, 16 bids. The VCP average price is $8,090. The reason being, the last PSA 10 sold, I believe, in sometime during 2020, and Back in 2020, the PSA 10 sold for about $1,100. So in the last 2 years, roughly 2 years, the PSA 10 has gone from $1,100 to now a sale of just over $8,000. But again, there's only 10 or 6 of these PSA 10s. And coming in at number 1. And at number 1, we have the 1971 Topps Roberto Clemente in an 8.5. Again, these 71 Topps are so hard to find at these really high grades. This sold on September 1st for $10,099.99. It was an auction, 55 bids. The average price for an 8.5 is $7,450. So again, to find a Roberto Clemente card from 71 in an 8.5, I didn't look up the population of the 8.5, but there can't be that many or that many higher than that, but sold for significantly higher than the VCP average price. I hope you enjoyed that look at the top 10 PSA vintage baseball card sales on eBay for the month of September 2022. If you missed last month's top 10 lists, you can check out that video right here. That's all I have for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.